What is up, gang? Everybody is in the house. How you guys doing? Happy West Night Thursday night. Thank you guys all for coming. And Brewers or Alan, who's here? Michael Shin, Hayden's here. Daniel. Hayden, yeah, you might be right. Brewers out for Voigt after naming McCutchen or DH. You might be right on that. Michael Osborne's here. Well, the crew franchise is in the house, dude. I love it. Love it. Cardo's here. Who else we got? Alpha Q Gaming. What is on, everybody? Thank you guys for coming on, hanging out. Chuck Anthony. Hayden Bear. Lee Sutherland. What's happening? What's up, Lee? Lori C's in the house. Thank you very much. I want to thank you all. My channel hit 10,000 subscribers today, so all your supporters who've been subscribed for me, if you're new, thank you. If you've been with me for a long time, thank you. I appreciate all yous helping to get to the channel. You all make this channel better, so I'm really grateful for you guys. Tyler's in the house. What's up, bud? Daniel 1929. Christopher Woods is here. Oh, it's starting to scroll pretty fast. Tim Vandervelde. Yes, sir. Thank you again, man. Thank you for all the people that have contributed to this channel getting up to 10K, man. Udall's in the house. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Santos, thank you. Aaron's in the house. Thank you, man. Smalls are killing me. What's happening? So there's some speculation tonight about the Yankees, and like we know that they're Daily Dose. Thank you, buddy. Michael Osborne, thank you, man. Right, Rail. That's it, man. Next up is the road to 20K. That's the next goal. So I'm gonna keep it rolling. Board Week better. What's up, man? Eamon, what's happening? Word Lifer, thank you, man. Backstage, well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don Sicker, what's happening, man? Sicario, what's up? What's up? Santos, what's happening, man? 20, gave you Cohen. That's the next goal. 20K, baby. That's right. Backstage, you're gonna get it. I saw that. You're at 490, right? I saw you today, yeah. Super excited, man. Thank you, Ola. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ola, you ready? I got it right here. Look. I got it right here for you, Ola. I'm celebrating by putting an apple pie inside of a Big Mac. This is my one cheat meal every year, okay? And I don't know what possessed me to do it, but Ola, let's get this rolling here. I'm gonna pack it up right now. But first of all, I want to thank all of you. You've been here for me from the beginning. If you're new, thank you. All content creators that have had me on their channel, thank you. Guys and gals that have come on my channel, thank you. I also want to put a special thanks to my mom too, who's my #1 supporter. Always watches my live streams and watches all my videos. So thank you, Ma. I love you too, and I love you a whole bunch. Taking the apple pie. I can't wait. I've been waiting all night for this. Putting it inside the Big Mac. Ola, you let me know when you're ready, man. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, man. That's right, man. Been on Backstages, been on Daily Dose, all you guys. Yankee Talks, NYY Recaps. Let's go, Dolan. Let's do it, man. Oh, my God. It's so good. You add the apple pie. It adds a whole nother flavor profile. You're basically putting awesome inside awesome. So you're actually getting double awesome, if you think about it. Wow. Take a few bites, and we'll get into the baseball stuff. I mean, a lot. There's a lot of speculation right now about Carlos Correa, whether the Yankees are still in on him. Sounds as if they are, but I don't know how accurate it is or how aggressive they're being. Well, hold on, I want to know what you think, man. Let me know how it tastes. This stuff excites me. This is a once a year thing. But yes, Ryan P, you're 100% right. The Yankees need pitching. I've been saying that's right, Comment NYC. I've been saying it for like, I don't know, months or almost a year. But the Yankees need 2 starting pitchers. Right? I'm telling you, isn't it? It's fantastic. Fantastic. It's worth it, Lori C. I promise you. Cold bear, you'll love it. I'm telling you. Add sweetness to it. Exactly. Yeah, so the Yankees are in discussions with Oakland for Frankie Montas and Sean Manaea. I don't know whether both of them is going to be doable. You have to give up a lot, obviously. I think Montas is going to cost more because he has 2 controllable years versus 1 for Manaea. All right. Michael Givens to the Cubs. Yeah, Garrett Richards, I think, is signed with Texas Rangers, so they're adding another pitcher. To Vanderbilt, I like that trade, but Zach Gallen is now injured. He has an injury in his pitching shoulder. That was just announced like 2 days ago. Junior, this is how I do it. Can't go lightweight on the burger. I've been fiending for this. I've been like craving. Oh my God. Aiden, and they have Isaiah kind of Falefa at shortstop now. And keep in mind, with the trade that the Yankees made, right? Jesus, appreciate that, man. Thank you for the dono, bro. The king. Jesus the King Chavez, man. The GOAT's here. I'll pay for it tomorrow, but it's all good, Ola. It's all good. Bob, thank you. Thank you. Isaiah kind of Falefa becomes super utility, I think, if they get a Correa. Because then if they get a Correa, DJ goes to second. I think they wind up trading Torres for pitching or prospects. I think they're going to trade Voit for probably prospects, maybe package Voit and Torres. But Big Mac at 10 p.m. Yeah, this is the only time I do it, Daniel. I generally would not. I don't eat this late. So, but I've been waiting all night to do this and celebrate with you guys, and all I was going to do it with me. So I couldn't let them down. I can't do it. Well, the way I see it, if the Yankees bring Correa, obviously I have him at third. Shortstop, Chapman at third. Most likely DJ at second, trading Torres. IKF becomes the super utility. And, yeah, put them likes up if you don't mind, guys. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do. It's really helpful to the channel. But I greatly appreciate it. IKF has some catching experience, but this new kid, Ben Rortvedt, he's a good-looking prospect. He's a lefty hitter, too. He's 24. He's a Hulk. And he's a better defender than Higashioka. He's like an elite glove. So I think the pitchers are going to be happy having him there as a defense first catcher, because a lot of those guys didn't want to pitch to Sanchez last year. So that's a good, and they're going to platoon him with Higashioka right now unless they trade for a big-time catcher. Yeah, Devontae Adams traded to the Rams from Green Bay Packers. I saw that. It's crazy. He had like a $145 million extension, too. Falafel, backup catcher. Trade to the Rams. That's a huge trade. Huge trade. What? Once they gave Aaron Rodgers $50 million a year, they couldn't pay Adams. They couldn't do it. Oh. No. Baker Mayfield has to be traded today too. Oh. But kind of Falefa, I don't know how good he is at catching. Honestly, he's a very good versatile infielder. So the super utility role I think would be perfect for him. Thank you, Carlos, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words, man. Thank you. Well, the apple pie is inside the Big Mac, Phil's Bill. Or it was inside the Big Mac. But I was half apple pie because I have a second Big Mac to put the other half of the apple pie in. So I'll show you. Take it. Oh, I take out the pickles. I don't like pickles in Big Macs. The other apple pie right here. Put it right in there, baby. Oh, I'm doing 2, man. This is a once-a-year thing for me. So I'm doing 2, baby. 2 Big Macs with the apple pies in them. Oh, my God. This is next level, I'm telling you, man. This is the celebration I've been waiting for. I couldn't wait to get to 10,000 subscribers so I could do this. Robert Greco. Good night. You leaving? It's fantastic. It really is, Lori. Ryan, don't worry. I eat clean all the time. I work out all the time. So I'll pay for it the next day or two, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Caleb, you've been here since 50 subs. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. You're one of the OGs. Thank you. Jose Ramirez, I don't think is a gettable. I mean, they have what it takes to get him, but just think about the ransom that Oakland. Oakland asked for Peraza, Volpe, and Dominguez for Matt Olson. Cleveland's going to ask for even more than that for Jose Ramirez. Mets fans, I'm telling you, love it. Taz, thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro. I'm going to keep filling you guys and gals in on all the updates, on everything, the trades, the free agent moves, the signings, and everything. So, franchise, we got to take it up another level today. That's why we do the Big Mac and the apple pie. So, yeah, I used to be a diehard Yankee fan 447. Yeah, and I changed the name to 161 River Ave. I wanted to honor Yankee Stadium. That's the old address of the original Yankee Stadium. So, franchise, you saw my yeah. So you saw my Big Mac. I actually did a Big Mac and apple pie video for YouTube. Kevin, how Cashman J? I would do it. I would love that, man. Hal Cashman Jr. When is Voight? My guess is they're going to trade him in the next couple of days. And he looks good at the plate, too, hitting. And so does Gleyber Torres. So that's a good thing because it shows that they're in shape and, poised to make a better year. Now, if Torres stays, fine. It's totally fine. So, Taz, I would love to get 100K, man, subs. At one point, I would love to do that. Well, Conforto, Big Mac, Eddie, Big Mac. Conforto, I don't think is going to go anywhere in a 1-year deal. I think he's going to get a couple-year deal. And personally, I don't care if they get Correa or not. It would be a luxury piece. Starting pitching is the bigger need right now. And I say this it doesn't matter how much money you throw at problems. Bringing Correa and Freeman here at the same time, spending $500 million would not change the pitching problems, the catching problem. Wouldn't change any of those things. So, and at the end of the day, I don't think Correa is going to come. But if he does, he does. Mr. Marvin, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Appreciate your support, man. Sean Manaea and Frankie Montas will be a huge get. I mean, it really would. It would be fantastic. But I do not see a Pineda reunion. No. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And this isn't I put out a video earlier. This is why they need 2 starters. I mean, Demi Garmon's already on the 60-day IL. We're a week into spring training, and he's on a 60-day injury list already. And if you look back historically, especially over the last 5 years, they have several starting pitchers, go down every year. And they barely have enough depth to withstand. Otherwise, they're doing starters and 8 guys in a game. And my Twitter is Bronx Bomber 447. Yeah. The team gets hurt. The pitching always gets hurt with the Yankees, and they haven't done a good job of developing starting pitching at the minor league level for a while. They need to get better at that. They're great at developing relief pitchers, power arms, position players, but catching not so much, and starting pitching not so much. I hope. Thank you, Ralph, man. I appreciate that, your support. Yeah, you can call me that, Thomas. Feel free, man. Nah, backstage, you don't owe me anything, bro. We're here to help each other, man. We'll get to a game. Ben Weiner, thank you so much, man. And I appreciate everybody that comes back and watches the videos and hangs out in the live streams. It's a joy, really, being here with you guys and gals. It really is. It's absolute joy. Knuckleball, if they can get Sean Murphy and Montas, that would be a huge coup for them. I mean, it really would be. At that point, well, they might want that kid Ben Rortvedt, but I don't know if they would want another catching guy, because they just got. They have Tyler Soderstrom as the number one catching prospect. They have Sean Murphy. They also got so yesterday I forgot the guy's name, Shea Langoliers from the Braves, and the Olsen trade. Matt Singh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate the generosity and the donor, man. Thank you very much, man. Since 500 subs, you one of the OGs too, man. Let's go Yankees, baby. I've got 3 mods already, Nor the Great, so I'll keep you in mind. I will keep you in mind once it starts getting bigger. Sir Vic, I don't know. Rizzo kind of alluded today that he might actually be vaccinated now. And I hope he is. I hope he is. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you, Robert. Thank you. And I think they do need to move Andujar. I'm not sure if they're going to move Hicks, but I hope they look into it. Yep. AV, exactly. Any unvaccinated Yankee cannot play home games until the issue is changed. So, thank you, Backstage. Have a good day at school, man. Thank you as always, buddy. Been subscribed since Chris, man. Thank you for being around. Thank you, man. You've been here with me since the beginning too. I appreciate you. We've been together for a long time. Michael Rowland, thank you very much for the generous donut. Thank you, sir. Really, I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. I have a feeling that they can't get a decent prospect or good pitching for Torres. They're going to wind up keeping him too. So, and I wouldn't give him up for nothing. He's got 3 controllable years, and so does Voit. They have, they both have their 3 ARB years, so they will get something back or value. So, I'm not sure if Rizzo has the medical exemption or not. I'm not even sure, but he might. Hicks will be hard to trade. You'd have to eat some of his contract. I'm telling you, you and your girlfriend would love it. The Big Mac and the apple pie. I'm going to feel like death later on tomorrow. Tonight, I may even be on the toilet bowl for a while, but it's all good. Yeah, I won't be eating this again for a year. So, Volpe's playing in the first game tomorrow. He's on the travel roster. That's right. And I heard the Orioles made him a $300 million offer, Correa. They're going to have to, I think, increase that. I heard the Astros also updated their offer. Their initial offer to him, I think, was $180 million, and he turned that down instantly. And they made another offer commensurate, I think, with what the Orioles are offering or something like that, because he's not going to take less than $300 million. I'd be shocked. But again, he's a Boris guy. I think he's going to go to the highest bidder. So if it's the Orioles, he's going to say, "Oh, I've always wanted to come. I was hoping it would be the Orioles. I love Maryland crab cakes." Whatever he's going to say, he'll say it. If it's Cincinnati, oh, I always love Cincinnati pies. Whatever else Cincinnati's known for, And it's just going to be the way it is. But thank you, Kyle, man. Thank you. And I enjoy those Big Macs. I hope you get them soon. The little birdie told you that Correa is going to Orioles, Richard? Harvey, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long road. Hard, consistent work. And, I want to get to 20 now, so I'm just going to keep plugging along and just, I'll spruce up the channel a little bit, but I want to keep the contact good. I mean, the content good and authentic. So, and that's one of the things that I think is important. Mike from the F, thank you, man. I appreciate you, generous. I've been sub for a while and haven't been able to watch the lives. Watch everybody. Love the content. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. You guys make this channel better, man. It's not me, it's you guys and gals. So keep that in mind. Rael, thank you. Your generosity, all you guys is greatly appreciated. 2 Big Macs with apple pies. Done. Oh. You're right. Let me get a napkin. Yeah. I'm only $170, 170 pounds, so I'm not a big dude. And but that was a lot of food. But it was fantastic. Ola, thank you for doing it with me, bro. Thank you for doing it with me. Can you believe that Freeman went to the Dodgers? Yeah. 6 years, 162 mil. The Dodgers. Jared, that was just 2 Big Macs, and I put apple pies in them because I was going to do that. I said I was going to do that. And today, if I got to 10,000 subscribers, and we did, so I wanted to do that. Somebody else told me I look like Brian Cashman. People tell me I look like David Cohn, too. Yeah, I'm 5'10", 170, 175, Christopher. Pretty much the same. Ryan, Pete, thank you for the generous donor, man. Thank you. Been here since 1,000. The GOAT sending you 10 for 10K subs. Man, congrats. Thank you for your generosity, bro. I appreciate that. It's been a valuable, it's been a precious ride with you guys. I appreciate you. You're one of the OGs too, man. And now it comes the road to 20K. The road to 20K. But donor hype and love for you, man. I appreciate that, Ron. Thank you, man. You guys are the best. I put the apple pie inside the Big Mac Julio. It was fantastic. It adds a sweet profile. Ola did it too. Ola Perito, he's in the chat. Did it with me. I'll tell you the same thing. It adds sweetness to it that you're not ready for. It's fantastic. This is a thing I do once a year as a cheat meal. Other than that, I'm clean. I eat clean. So, but yeah. So I mean, the next move, in my opinion, has to be starting pitching. It's got to be. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, man. Chicken parm's in the house. 5'11", 245. Yeah, it's chicken parm is one of the greatest foods ever. Jason Roberts, thank you, man. Adam, Jersey's in the house too, in Nashville. Sound like I find most of my cousins and aunts. Bayside. That's the New York accent, man. That's the New York accent, man. But welcome, Jersey/Nashville. Where in Jersey? Where you from? I got married I got down on the Jersey Shore. A bleacher creature. I like the bleachers. I sat in the bleachers, Mike Stewart, Game 6 of the World Series in 2009 when they beat the Phillies with my mom and my wife. And it was awesome. It's awesome. Rachel Balkovic will be in screen. Yeah, she's already there. I seen some photos, some footage of her. And Fishbill, I'm telling you, the Mac apple pie combo it's a game changer. It's like a once a year thing for me, and I keep it that way because I don't want my cholesterol going through the roof. But I'm looking forward to next year's now. But this was a special occasion. I had to do it. I generally do it for my birthday in June, but I had to do it early this year. Tommy Daly, no doubt, man, no doubt about it. Danny Duffy, the Dodgers, yeah, they got him last year too. They traded for him, and he was hurt like the whole time. Let's just scroll by. You just had your laxative. Don't move too fast. Carl, Long Beach Island in Manahawkin. That's where I got married. A place called Bonnet Island. Yeah, I mean, I think they're teasing us with Correa, to be honest with you. I'd be shocked if he comes out of nowhere with Correa. And I don't think Correa is going to stop him from getting Volpe either. Because at the end of the day, like, you can move Correa over to third base once Donaldson's done 2 seasons and then have Volpe at short. And you can keep – kind of for left is only 26. So those are the types of guys we want to keep, right? He's younger than Correa. So he's a guy I would keep around. Even after – he's not a free agent, I think, until 2024. So he's got 2 seasons here too. And if he plays well here, that's a guy that you re-sign. And then you have a bunch of young guys. You got Volpe and some of these other guys, Sweeney, Oswaldo Cabrera, Oswald Peraza. And, you might have to move Bridgewater, New Jersey. All right. Sports time, nice. Story can come here, and he will cost less than what do you call it? Than Correa. There's no doubt about it. He will cost less. I think they'll be paying Judge soon. Well, Judge essentially gave him a deadline. He says he wants to talk. He's not going to talk extension once the season starts. So they have until basically the day before the season starts to get an extension done. So, did I see the thing with Torres? What thing are you talking about? I know he looks pretty good hitting. I saw him and Rizzo went back to back on Nestor Cortez today in batting practice and live batting practice. That was pretty cool. Yankee fan, I think it's more than a 20% chance, more than a 30% chance that then he becomes a Yankee. Correa. And thank you again, Ryan, bro. Thank you so much. Torres hit a bomb, and then the next pitch, Rizzo hit one. Back to back, baby. Yankee steak sandwich, pretty good. Yeah, it is a good sandwich. Sandy Hook, nice. I could see Story going to Boston. I'm hearing now, like the Padres and the Braves right now are going after Jorge Soler, and the Padres are actually going. They're in talks with Soler and Nick Castellanos. So my guess is they'll probably get one of them, and then the Braves might get the other one. So I wouldn't sleep on the Braves. They're quietly getting better too, in their path to repeat. Yeah, and my guess too, Chris Perez, is I kind of feel like will be a super utility guy if they brought Correa in. DJ would be the second baseman. I think they would move Torres for pitching or just prospects. Pitching prospects and catching prospects and things like that. We don't have many of them, so we need them. If you can't move Voit and Torres for pitching, you move them for some good prospects at the very least, and you'll get some payroll relief too, which could make a Correa addition a little bit more palatable at the same time. And then again, like the next 4 years, they have like $120 million coming off the payroll, something like that in the next 4 years. It's, I think 40 coming off this next year. So that'll be plenty to take care of. To take care of what do you call it? Judge's extension, because he's going to get 30 plus easily. No, I'm good, Tommy. Probably just the food that I inhaled. No head cold here, but thank you, though. Soler had a negative WAR. I don't know. Soler, well, hit some big. He was clutch in the postseason. That's for sure. Am I sound nasally, Tommy? Is that what it sounds like? Yankee burgers. Yankee burgers are good. Yeah, I mean, convince people didn't watch our squad last year if they think we don't need they needed, they have and I'm going to put out a video on where I think the Yankees got better. But honestly, like, I am a wrestling fan, Rocco. Yeah, I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. And what do you call it? I mean, they got better in a bunch of different, like Rizzo. The addition of Rizzo, kind of Falefa, and Josh Donaldson has dramatically improved their defense, dramatically cut down on their strikeouts, and improved their plate discipline. And keep in mind, with Dylan Lawson in there now, that's somewhat of their philosophy. It's a lot more disciplined hitting, contact hitting, less reliance on the home run. And some of the things that the Yankees were bad at last year, they were 26 out of 30 in runners in scoring position, meaning poor base running and lack of timely hitting, clutch hitting. These guys, keep in mind, the guys that they moved on, Sanchez had an under 1 WAR. Okay, so did Gio. IKF kind of fluff had 3.7 WAR this past year, and then Josh Donaldson was over 3 also. I think it was 3.2 WAR. So significant increase in WAR. So I think analytics had a lot to do with that trade. And again, they got better in a lot of metrics. They're not the sexiest metrics, but it's going to make the Yankees a better team, kind of a better lineup and a more disciplined lineup. So that I'm excited about. Brandon Lee, thank you, man. I appreciate that. DeGrom is a free agent. He's an so JoJo walk to the West Coast if you can. I think so, Kirsch. I would just trade him to the West Coast. I try to make an offer for an extension. If he says no, you trade him immediately and get a haul back for him. That's it. That's it. Judge and Stanton won't hit solo shots. Well, no, exactly. There's going to be more guys on base, and it's going to help in a lot of different ways. How we construct a lineup is going to be different, but so I think Torres. If Torres goes to Oakland, is going to be adding, like, let's just say they get Frankie Montas. I'm not sure if they take Torres because of the contract, but they might. So let's just say Torres. It'll probably cost Torres, Oswald Peraza, and maybe Luis Medina, something like that, or Andres Gomez, their number 10 prospect, a pitcher, or something like that. It's going to cost at least 3 guys to get Montas, 2 of which are going to have to be prospects, at least 2. Did I read the SNY article on Andy Martino? Look at that. I've not, Takanacho. What is it about? I'll check it out. Yeah, a lot of folks want Correa. Don't get me wrong, but Correa's not going to be enough. They still need another. They need that Frankie Montas or Schwarber, and I would still make an offer for Luis Castillo, even though the GM of the Reds said they're not interested in trading him. If you make him an offer that's appealing enough, they'll move him. They're going on a fire sale now. They moved a bunch of the team already. What's the point of keeping Castillo if you're not going to build around him? They traded their top reliever yesterday, Amir Garrett, or today, and to the Royals. So you're probably right. We'll decide 2009, but the only scenario I could see them trading Judge is if he turns down an extension. Then I don't hesitate at all. I move him immediately. How bad is the COVID-19 regulation in New York City? Well, they're not going to be able to play home games right now. One of the problems is the mayor like the new mayor released most of the mandates and this and that, and he did it all at once, and now there's a flare up in New York City. And even though they've been doing, they were way ahead of the country, and but this caused some flare ups, and now they need to get it back down. And he basically shut down almost all the mandates. So this is a private sector mandate, so it's a little different. They're going to have to work around it. But now he's saying he's not going to rush it. So there's a really good chance that some players are going to miss games. And keep in mind too, with regards to Judge, if he misses 14 games or more, his service time, his free agency gets pushed back an entire year after missing 14 games because of this situation. So it affects his pay and it affects his service time. And that's something to consider as well with these guys. I'm with you, Billy Branch. I think so. If they don't trade him now, they'll probably trade him at the deadline. But it would be better to trade him now to get more. They'll get more for him. So I don't know, Juan. I don't know yet. I mean, there's a chance they might wind up with Correa. Things are very quiet in Yankee world, and when that happens, it's usually he's bound to strike. So just live with COVID. Mandates don't do anything. Well, I don't know, Marcus. Everybody has opinions on that. Living with COVID if you're vaxxed is a hell of a lot better than living with it when you're not. So that's for sure. But again, people's opinions are their opinions. Try to keep the politics out of this. People get a little feisty when people bring up politics. So, but I don't see this as politics. Is Randy Levine the right guy to convince City Hall to change? I don't know. I mean, doesn't sound like it, but yeah, I don't know, really. COVID regulation most likely not likely to be amended. Yeah. And one of the problems is in the science is like you have people who are a lot of unvaccinated people, and then what's happening is a lot of unvaccinated people catch it, and then it mutates into a new variant, and then Omicron, and then whatever the hell else is next, and then after that, and it's just that's why it keeps mutating. So, but it is what it is. Hicks will be hurt. As much as I hate to agree, Rocky, you're probably right. You're probably right. Catcher, number 2 pitcher, center field, and catcher. Yeah, I mean, well, catcher, they brought in this kid, Ben Workman. He looks pretty good. So they at least have that. He's a better defender than Sanchez. He's also 24 years old, and he's got a lot of time left. Controllable years. So we'll see. I like the better defense, and he's a lefty hitter too, so it gives the Yankees another lefty bat. They're talking about platooning him with Higashioka, so we'll see how he responds to the pitchers and vice versa. So Trevor Bauer, I wouldn't touch him unless he gets released. He's going to probably wind up. Well, his administrative leave was pushed back today until April 15th right now, so they keep pushing it back, the league and the union. So it looks like they're going to make an example out of him, which sucks because he's already been cleared criminally. So, but that's the only way I would do it is if he's released and the Yankees can get him on the minimum. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense paying $30 million for him. So, yeah, if you guys don't mind, if you can get those likes up, I want to try to get him over 500. We got 523 people in here. If you haven't hit it yet, please do. It's greatly appreciated. Hicks move straps. Unless people are saying stand hurt. Yeah. I mean, we have to have less guys hurt. I mean, we really do. It's just ridiculous. Florial, unfortunately, his bat has not come around. He's an elite defender, a great base runner, but he can't hit. He really can't hit. 10:30 p.m. You know, yeah, that's a good question, man. That's a really good question. Uh, can I give me insight of what type of player park? What do you mean? What type of ballpark Yankee Stadium is for players, or is that what you mean, Mets fans? Dodgers take Chapman. I mean, Chapman would be. I mean, look at this way too. Now that the Dodgers have Freddie Freeman now, and I was going to do a video on this. Gavin Lux becomes expendable because he doesn't really have a position. They got Muncy there for second. Lux plays multiple positions. He has 5 years of control. He has 2 more years of pre-arb and then all of his arb years. He's not a free agent until 2027. To me, he's a perfect guy to go after because everybody talks about Yankees needing a fourth outfielder, a legitimate outfielder, and a utility guy. This guy does both. Okay, and he's young. I think he's 24 years old or 23. So that to me is a guy to go after. You add Chapman. Let's just say you add I don't know, you add Chad Green to it, and you add a prospect or something like that. You might be able to pry Gavin Lux away from the Dodgers because he doesn't have a role now there. Now that Freeman's there, so he would be the guy we'd be going after. He really would. Podcast with you and your friend Thomas. Just reach out to me. Diehard Yankee Fan 447 is my Instagram. Message me there, or message me on Twitter, Bronx Brommer 447, and we'll talk about it. Colin Bauer is the same rotation. It would be, Tyler. We just got to get the drama away from Trevor Bauer. That's one of the problems. Tommy Pham, I heard they're interested in as well. Pham, he could be a good for the Mets or the Yankees. He could be a good fit. I personally would like Lux. And if there's any way they could pry him away, I would do that. Thank you guys for hitting the likes, man. I appreciate it. We're over like 330 now. Next up is 400 likes, so we're shooting for it. Use cauliflower seeds, sunflower seeds. Believe me, Kevin Hirsch, if I had the money, I'd be making an offer. They are an expensive friend, the most valuable franchise in all of sports. This is the thing, yes, the Yankees pay more revenue out and revenue sharing and this and that. They lost the most money during COVID and blah blah blah. But they made like $500 million last year in profit. So going from the 250 to 270 threshold isn't really going to hurt them. Hal can bring in Correa if he wants to. He can without a problem. Do they want to pay a little bit more in the threshold? Fine. But with the money coming down significantly over the next 3-4 years, they're going to be under the threshold again. So that's my logic with that. I mean, there's no way they can't get Correa. But I wouldn't just get Correa because, again, it doesn't solve the pitching problems. It's got to be Correa and Montas, right? Or Correa and Mane or something like that, or Correa and Castillo. That's the way it has to be. So, and Ryan P., oh, man. If I get to 11K by opening day, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Opening day lineup, Sub-Zero. Although I think, personally, I would lead off kind of Falefa. He would have had the most hits on the team last year. He also steals 20-something bases, so we needed a table setter up top. I think he'd be a good table setter. And then DJ second. You have 2 contact hitters up top. And then I would go Judge third. Probably Donaldson fourth because he's got power, even in a bad year at 27 home runs. Stanton fifth. Rizzo sixth. Gallo seventh. Hicks probably the center fielder eighth. And then the catcher ninth. That's kind of how I would probably do the lineup right now. It's well balanced. And obviously, if they get a Correa or something like that, that changes, of course. But that's kind of how I would lay it out based on what they have right now. Andujar, I mean, I don't know, Random. I think they're looking for a change of scenery for him. If they can get him for a prospect, they'll get him for a prospect or 2 prospects or something like that. Get some type of value. Check Heyman. What are you seeing here, Kyle? Let's check. Let's check John Heyman here. Let's see what's going on. What's Heyman saying? What's Heyman saying, Kyle? Cashman now. It's time for a deal. Yeah, well, you're right. Cashman does make some late night moves, and it's 10:30 right now, so It would be nice if they just announced like Frankie Montas coming to the Yankees or blah blah blah. Now let me check MLB trade rumors. Dodgers signed Danny Duffy. Yeah, same stuff. Joe Kelly, he signed with the White Sox. A good addition to that bullpen, and he's really that bullpen's nasty. Yeah, Heyman's kind of not been that accurate lately, Shamir. That's right. Danny Duffy just signed with the Dodgers. Yeah, it could be but could be Duffy announcement. Last two trade, yeah. Rizzo batted second. Yeah, I think he'd be better off batting like sixth or something like that. DJ's a pure contact hitter. I like having two contact guys up top. I think you put Rizzo after Stanton and before Gallo. I think that's to me that's a nice. That's hell for like a whole bunch of guys in a row. And I think IKF would do fine leading off. I think he'd be fine. Just put the ball in play. He gets a lot of base hits and be fine. I think he'd be fine. Jeff Passan, yeah, he's accurate. I like him. I definitely like him. Extra inning ghost runner role. Yeah, that's right here. That's on MLBTradeRumors.com. The extra inning ghost runner role might be sticking around in Major League Baseball. Reports Jason Stark. Players who heavily support this new feature from the last two seasons tell the reporters they expect it to be enacted this week with announcements of health and safety protocols. Kevin Corbin, thank you so much for the generous dollar, man. I really appreciate that. You're the man, dude. Thank you very, very much. All right, thank you. Yeah, Jose Ramirez. He hasn't been traded to the Blue Jays. That would be everywhere. Yeah, big boy. I'd probably back Gallo at seventh right now. I mean, to me, he didn't bat well higher up. I think, the bottom three would be good for Gallo. He can, with less pressure. I think he'd clean up pretty well there. I think he'd clean up pretty well. So he'd be the top guy in that back third. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, big boy. Yeah, Volpe's on the travel roster. Yep. DJ, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, Thompson, Gallo. I mean, you could do that too. But what do you do at IKF? I mean, he's right now the fastest guy on the team. He steals bases, and I don't want to put a base stealer like batting seventh or eighth. I want him to be ahead of Judge and Stanton and those guys, so that those guys can drive him in. So the likeliness of him scoring is greater. Breaking: Yankees are closing in on the 10-year, $330 to acquire Carlos Correa. Kevin Hirsch. Where's that breaking from? You pulling our chain? Huh? I don't see that anywhere. Glaber's only 25. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. He still has a lot of baseball in him, I think. And even Voigt's got a lot of baseball in him. He's older, but when he's healthy, he's an elite hitter. So that's one reason why I put IK up at the top, because he's the fastest guy. He's the guy that steals bases. We only have one base stealer now. It's him. So that's one reason I would put him at top. And then you have like a guy like DJ who can move him over, and then the big bats Judge, and then you're going into like murderous row. Now you have Josh Donaldson. You got much more plate discipline now. So, and I think he'd be, I think he'd be good. For left combatant ninths, you could do that too, but they won't always get to him either. And but I understand what you're saying. Late to the party, Montas, Correa to New York. So that's like Chris said, this is what's been the chatter right now. They're working to acquire either Montas or Minaya from Oakland. And it's really quiet in Yankee world. So I expect Cashman to pounce at some point. And they haven't stopped. They're in continuing discussions with Scott Boras. So, and they haven't brought in a Scott Boras guy recently. So it's like last one was Garrett Cole. And they have a really good relationship and a long history with Scott Boras. So don't be surprised if they do bring in Correa. It's not going to stop them from moving Volpe up. And again, they would do it that way. All their moves would essentially be free agent moves. They wouldn't have to trade anybody, to be honest with you. I mean, even though you probably at that point, it might make sense to move Oswald Peraza and some other guys for that pitcher from Oakland. You have to use him at that point if you have Correa. So you need to get, and he's their number 2 prospect right now. And they have 4 top 100 prospects now in Major League Baseball. They had 3. They added Austin Wells. He's like 90 or something like that. So 4 in the top 100. They haven't had that in a while. So That's pretty good. That's impressive. I'm hearing the Correa, they're being aggressive, and the ownership is involved now to bring Correa back. So I could see it. Correa 2 years, 75. I mean, if you can get him for that, I don't know that Scott Boras would ever go for that. But I don't know. 10 Big Macs if the Yankees sign Correa. I couldn't even do that. Is Clark Schmidt healthy? He looks healthy right now, but how long? I don't know. That remains to be seen. He's been throwing a couple of good bullpens. His arm looks strong, but same thing happened last year. He has these freak injuries all the time. He's just not durable, unfortunately. So Yankees do have a shot at Correa demons, but how realistic, I don't know, but they have a shot. Astros will sign Correa. Now, I think if the Astros sign him, Kenny, it's going to be for the big one, 8 or 10 years. Maybe 7 at 280 or 40 mil per, or something like that. Yankee spring training roster. Not all yet, Rayo. I know Volpe's joining them tomorrow in their first game. Should be cool. Scott Boras won. Scott Boras is definitely going for a 10-year deal. There's no doubt about it. Maybe even 10 or 12. So Steven Riding's healthy. They're going slow with him, Adam, because he had a setback this offseason. I don't know how far along his progression is, but he's got a big-time arm, so I'm hoping he's be ready in the springtime, ready to go for the regular season. Who would cost less than prospects? Less probably Reynolds, only because Mullins is in the same division. Well, Mullins from an AL East, they would want more, I think, to trade to an AL East rival. That's my opinion. Wells can replace. Yeah, I'm hearing Wells is projected to be a first baseman. I'll be surprised if somebody like Trey Sweeney does that too. McDonald's challenge tomorrow, Fishville. I'm telling you, man. I think you're gonna like it. I didn't really eat much all day today. I had something light for breakfast, fruit and cheese and stuff like that, and then shrimp and rice and beans for lunch. Just a nice light meal. I was just waiting for this ridiculous thing, hoping that we'd get to 10,000. So we did. Now we're over the hump, and I won't do this meal again for a year. So definitely not. Yeah, picks another. Yankees play tomorrow. First game, baby. Yeah, the Royals are competing for one of those A's pitchers, and they traded Mike Minor for Amir Garrett, who's a stud reliever from the Reds. So they definitely won that trade too, and they saved $7 or $8 million too by moving Minor. So it's weird kind of trades that the Reds are doing. So I don't see how they could not move Castillo and even Votto at this point, because it's a full tear down if already. So they might as well move these guys and get some more prospects back for them. So when you answer questions, you have to read them out loud to us, because we're only getting partial statements from you. So sometimes I'll read them all. I mean, I'll read them and then I'll give my answer, Jason Robbins, if that makes sense. Sometimes I read the question so fast that I'll mention the last 2 words, but I'll be more clear with that, man. Sorry about that. Trey can move to first or third. Yes, he can. Jace, my expectations for Gil is that he competes and he eventually wins the number 5 spot in the rotation. But I would still be easy with him and gradually build him in, just like Nestor Cortez. I think it's important for the next step for him is to build up enough arm strength to eventually get into that rotation. He's got 4 years here too. He's only 26, and he's not a free agent until 2026. So the Yankees have him for 4 more seasons. So a lot of time to do the right thing by him. I would do right by him and Hill. Because they do have some high-end pitching talent. I just hope that they continue to nurture it and these guys stay healthy. I don't know what the curse is that so many Yankee starting pitchers get hurt so often. I don't understand it. Yankees ownership. Yeah, I heard that they're pushing hard for Correa, Shamir. And last Astros offer was 6 years, $160 million. Yes, but they upped that offer this week. Are the Padres interested in Luke Voit, Tyler? I didn't know that. And get a decent prospect for him. Peter DeLuca. Gil was Luis Hill was one of their best pitchers, and then they sent him down when some of the guys came off COVID, and it was just never the same after that. I personally don't like sending somebody down if he's on a heater. If he's playing really well, pitching, why would you ever send him down? I keep him up and let him ride at, man. Danny J, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, if I were the Pirates, I would be trading Brian Reynolds right now, Richard. They can get an absolute haul back for him, and they're not going to compete anytime soon. Build around Brian Hayes. I know they want to build around Reynolds and Hayes, but they traded away Jacob Stallings. They traded their catcher. Like, they have a lot of catching depth and prospects, so there'd be another team to maybe trade Luke Voigt to, and maybe get a catching prospect, but that might be an option. Correa might come to New York. I'm not saying he is coming to New York, Mike Jones. There's been a lot of speculation now. The ownership's pushing a little bit harder to get him, and it's real quiet right now in Yankees world. So, they're still in it. The Yankees, they're still, which surprises me. So, what'll our infield look like if we get Correa? Ben Minor, I think at that point it's Donaldson at third, Correa at short, probably DJ at second, and Rizzo at first, with kind of Falefa being super utility guy, and Torres being traded for prospects or pitching. That's the way I see it. DJ's a better second baseman than Torres. I hope Torres has a turnaround year, though. I really do. Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, I felt the same way, Jim. I didn't see the point of them demoting all these guys and benching them when they were all playing well, just because the players came back from COVID or the IL or whatever. And then they went on, the 13-game winning streak was without all these guys. Andrew Velasquez contributed, Rougned Odor, Tyler Wade. Those are the major contributors to the 13-game winning streak. And then, they took them out, and then, and they sent Hill down for the service time manipulation. That's right, disgruntled. So, and things just, they had it, I think, 6. They lost like 8 of the next 10 games or something like that. It was a shame. Is it guaranteed Correa signs tonight? No, I don't think it is, Demons. I'd be surprised, but it would be a nice surprise. Reynolds would be a veteran for them by the time they're contenders. Yeah, he would be. 4 years you got 4 years of control there, and controllable years at a low contract is gold for these guys. So look at Correa's stats. Yeah, I mean, I don't personally think $350 million. I think it's too much. So, but his stats might not be gaudy, but he's one of the best clutch hitters in baseball. One of the best defensive shortstops in baseball. So he has a lot of things going for him. The clutch thing is something not many Yankees have. Stanton has it. A couple other guys have it, and he definitely has it. He's one of the best in baseball in terms of clutch hitting. My guess, the GOAT is Judge gets 8 years also. I think 7 would be more appropriate, but at the end of the day, I think he winds up getting 8. I think you're right about that. Takanato, check Ken Rosenthal. You better not be joshing us, man. Let's see. Are you talking about Donaldson's the tweet about Takanacho, the tweet about Donaldson's money and all those guys? Is that what you're talking about? $16 billion. That's a lot of money, Udall. It's a lot of money. Yeah, Richard, I agree. Reynolds is not going to re-sign in Pittsburgh. He turned down 2 extension offers from them this offseason already. So I think it would be wise for them to trade him and get an absolute ransom back, because that's exactly what he'd get. Voigt for prospects. Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea too, Jaden. If you can get some prospects for Voigt and even Torres, you package some of those prospects over to Oakland and boost your package. So most definitely. Or Cincinnati for Castillo. Absolutely. Darrell Leslie, Judge, more than 5 years. I mean, personally, 7 years is my cutoff for Judge. But, at the end of the day, this is his opportunity to get the payday. He's earned it, and that's fine. But he's going to be 31 when that happens. And again, he hasn't showed to be healthy 2 consecutive years in a row. So that worries me. Andy Martino, Adam. Yeah, there's a couple of folks that mentioned like Carlos. I haven't mentioned, that it's close or anything like that. They just mentioned that the Yankees are still um, in the talks with Correa's people, which means Scott Boras. I would be shocked if the Yankees got him. But the fact is, too, I mean, they made Freddie Freeman an offer, so, and I don't know what the offer is, but so they had that money, so I wouldn't be shocked if they signed Correa. He's going to get more per year than Freddie Freeman, but that shows me that he was still willing to spend Hal Steinbrenner. But I think right now the right move for the Yankees is that trade with Oakland, if they can get it done, because you can get multiple players in that trade. And even a guy like Tony Camp, I know some people talked about Laureano, but he's on a 60-game suspension for a PED, so I'm not going to do that. Give up prospects for a guy who's going to have a 60-game ban? No, thank you. Tony Kemp will be a better fit. Luden, thank you so much. I appreciate the generous donor, man. Appreciate that. Clutch, no BS attitude, tolerance, and his OPS would only get better, in my opinion. I'd pay it at this point. Need the biggest villain here badly. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely clutch. And, they would be hated, that's for sure. But I mean, who cares? I mean, that's like, I said this earlier too. Like a guy like Josh Donaldson, he reminded me of like Darryl Strawberry when he was here with the Yankees. These guys weren't afraid to get in fights with people, and he brought that fight. He brings that feistiness that like David Wells and Darryl Strawberry brought to the team, and CC Sabathia. And I like that about Josh Donaldson. He's not afraid to get in your face, and especially when it's justified. We needed that type of edge here, and I'm glad that he brought it. I really am. So. Bryant P, 8 years, 270 for Correa to the Yankees. What? Where are you seeing that? I'm not seeing any of this. I'm looking. I have MLB Network on here too. Something will be. Joc Pederson, clutch. Yeah, he signed with the Giants today. Robert Rothberg. That was a good for like 1 year, $6 million too. So that's a good get. And the Giants have quietly gotten better. They brought in Rodon. They brought in some other guys too. So the Giants are going to be hard to beat. I wouldn't just give. The playoffs to the Dodgers just yet. No. Castillo from the Reds, yeah, would be a good. Giancarlo, I under 50% chance that Correa becomes a Yankee. And Correa does get over $300 million with Scott Boras. There's no doubt about it. Kenley Jansen, I can actually see him going to Philadelphia. I can see Kenley Jansen going to Boston. Probably those two. Probably those two teams. Maybe even Toronto. Maybe Toronto. So that's another one. Would Correa add some personality and conflict to the Yankees? Yeah, he would. But again, at the end of the day, if they won, all would be forgiven. Nobody would care if they're winning. And he definitely has a winning pedigree, Carlos Correa. There's no doubt about that. So, yeah, I heard maybe 7 up for Soto, but again, that's just one player. So that's the thing. One player is not going to do it. This isn't basketball, like where you can take Michael Jordan and surround him with 4 high school players and he would still take them to the playoffs. This is different. So this is much different. Cheesemaker, I think tonight or tomorrow, the next Yankee move happens. Kevin, thank you so much. Kevin Penfield. Go on Twitter, MLB News Network. They said the Padres and Yankees have discussed the Luke Voigt trade. And what is it? MLB News Network? Give me 1 second. I'll check it out. And MLB News. MLB News Network. I mean, I think the Yankees are active, definitely in active trades for Luke Voigt. There's no doubt about it. Let's check and see here. Yeah, Yankees and Padres have discussed the Luke Voigt trade. Well, he would definitely bring some more offense over there. I mean, they need a DH. They need a DH. And if they move Eric Hosmer, he might play a little bit of first base too. So avoid for Tatis. I mean, I would try to get one of their pitching prospects, Griminator or somebody like that, or a good prospect for Voit. And again, they would make clear up about $6 million in payroll too, which they could use elsewhere. Big boy, what happened, man? Holy crap! Padres have 4 catchers. You get one of them catching prospects. Thoughts on Glaber? I mean, I hope he has a bounce back year, but he still has some issues that he needs to work out. I mean, I would move him for a good prospect or two or pitching. He's a movable guy. He's got 3 years of controllable years left, so he's got decent value, and he's young. And I still hope he has a turnaround year. If he stays here, I hope he plays well. Only way to get Correa short term, probably get the Marlins involved in the Padres trade. I mean, Pablo Lopez from the Marlins to me is a gettable player. I think it would be wise to investigate that guy. He also has 3 more years of arbitration, controllable years, and he's a frontline pitcher. He could be a number 2 right behind Cole. So I don't think we go into the season with DJ on the bench. No, Kevin, I don't think so. It wouldn't make sense to have him on the bench. Mullins would be phenomenal, in center field, but it's going to cost more than a ransom. And I don't know if I don't even know if the Orioles would consider it. Campusano, yeah, they have. He's a good catching prospect. They have a couple of them, Craig. They can, if you can pry Campusano away, you'd have to add somebody to Voit, I think. But Muskie Hunt, no, I mean, no toilet, man. I made a steal, dude. It'll hit me later. It's gonna have a delay. Call it DP, a delayed poop. So at some point, but not right now. Way to get Trevor right. Yeah. I mean, he would be a big get. I don't think it's going to happen, though, but he'd be I would love to get him from the Marlins. They didn't pay Robbie Ray. They made an offer to Simeon. It was pretty significant, but the Rangers gave him hell of a lot more money. Robbie Ray, yeah. I mean, that the problem is these guys went before the lockout, and we found out later that the Yankees weren't going to do anything until they figured out what the parameters were going to be for the lockout. That's why they didn't sign anybody. No Planton. Not do Planton. Are you talking about Maduro? I like Maduros. Plato Maduros. Those are one of my favorite things in the whole world. If that's what you're talking about, Ola. Gore and Campusano, man. If you can get McKenzie, Gore, and Campusano, that'd be a nice return. Nice return. Yeah. Voit might get moved to the Padres. I mean, he's definitely going to get moved. Probably today or tomorrow or next day. 2 years, $80 million for Correa. I mean, if they would take it, you got to do it. I've heard that people tell me I look like Cashman. People tell me I look like David Cohn too. Tyler, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Luke Voit and Chad Green to the Padres for Ethan Elliott, Robert Gasser. That's a nice trade too, Tyler. Gasser, I like that trade. Green is movable because they have super depth in the bullpen. So that's a pretty good trade. Voit for Tony Quinn. Tostones. Oh God, I love that. With like a tostones, when you get like a pork de chuletas and you have that green, that garlic. Oh, and then you put it on the tostones too. Oh my God. I just had 2 Big Macs with apple pies, and you guys are making me hungry again. You guys are killing me. Chris Paddock from the pie. If they can pry Paddock, it would be phenomenal. Nora the Great, thank you so much for coming on. Have a wonderful night. Voit and a prospect for Paddock. Yeah, if they can get Paddock, yeah, Voit and a prospect would definitely be nice. R.I.P. Tony Gwynn. Yeah, Tony Gwynn's a legend, man. One of the best hitters of all time. Why didn't you get actually the chocolate shake, their shake maker wasn't working. They weren't making any shakes. That's why I didn't get it. So Tommy Daly. I think I might do like a live and have you guys on live and we can all just pound the food at the same time. Chuletas, Bronson, I'm telling you, right? Chuletas are it's just a whole nother level of wonderful. Udo. Chimichurri, the green stuff on tostones. So that, I mean, there's a garlic one too. And I don't know what you call it, but the chimichurri I love too. I love that on steak. I love that on tostones. Like, it's all wonderful. All wonderful. Like even a little bit of sour cream on there, or crema mexicana. Like, you guys are doing me in. So I'm working on the swaggy, Brunson. Yeah, I'm working on the swag. I actually put it on a little video earlier asking for some more feedback because I'm kind of narrowed down the type of swag I want to get. And so please give me some more insight as to what you think would be the best idea for swag. Luden, I was disappointed that they didn't have the shake. But I think it was better. Mofongo. Oh my God. Carne frita. Yes, Juan. Yes. Yes. Por favor. Yes. Do I think Tatis will be a Yankee? I do not think that Jordan. I don't think so. I don't even know if Soto will be a Yankee. And at this point, I don't really care, honestly. Scully's no doubt about it. Tyler Talbot, thank you again, bro. Torres, Wisniewski, Schmidt, Florial, and Garcia for Frankie Montas. I don't know if it'll cost that much. Will it, Tyler? If you can do it without Wisniewski. But yeah, you probably have to give up. He's one of the top rated prospects here. Florial and Davey. It might be doable, Tyler. I mean, we have to clear another. Like they cleared a roster spot today. They put Herman on the 60 to make room for Rizzo, but I think they're still at 41. So any of these trades are going to have to be more going out than coming in. But that's a doable trade, Tyler. That is. Jimmy Chiri's in Argentina. Yes, it is. It's wonderful. JDC, wonderful. I like chimichurri on like a skirt steak. Nice charred grilled shirt steak with a. Yes, chimichurri. Rocco, you saw me on a boat or someone else? What do we got? Tatis and a Judge deal. Yeah, I don't think Judge would mind if Correa came on. Correa's a winner. That's the type. He's an adult. They will get over that type of stuff. So I don't see that being a problem. They would probably run it by him. They run it by Cole and whatnot. But I don't think they want to win a World Series, so it makes sense to bring in a winner if they could do that. Dominican love it. The bands love it. I love Dominican food. It's just all that stuff is wonderful, 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 wonderful. Correa rumors are just like trickling in right now. He's a Boris client. I think he's going to be one of the last guys to go, and it's unfortunate because he's missing spring training time right now, prep time. So he should not be taking this long. But there's still like 200 guys that need to be signed. So it's still going to keep a lot of offensive players still need to go. So it's going to be really busy over the next week or two. So I'm going to have to put out like 200 videos. It's going to be nuts. But I'm going to keep them short, like a minute to 2 minutes. So it's the short and sweet. So you get the info and we keep it moving. Yes, you don't, no doubt about it. If White goes to San Diego, could the Yankees push inside? I mean, they could. They could. That frees up like $5 or $6 million from Voit, which they could add to Correa or add to Judge, right? Per an extension, but and that also unclogs a roster spot too, which is good. They need to do that. They need to make some because at the end of the day, if they're going to get somebody like a Montas or Manaea, they're going to need to clear roster spots anyway. So doing this, even if you get just prospects that might not be on the 40-man right now, that's totally okay. 418 likes. Yeah, I'm trying to get to 500. So we'll see if we can get to 500 likes. So we're 421 now. That would be awesome again. Void on the Giants would be, that's an intriguing one, Homeless Jesse. Be a good fit there too. Spend on pitching. Yeah, I mean, same thing, Tommy Daly. I mean, I want pitching first. If you get pitching and like Correa, then all the better. Void for Joe Musgrove. Musgrove might be nice. I mean, that intrigues me. Unclog. Yes, I did say unclog. Unclog the infield, yeah. The roster. We need to open up some roster spots. No doubt about it. Void for prospects, then put him in. No, wait. Then to boost Oakland trade for Cat. That's what I would do, Jaden. That's a good idea. Castellanos and put him in left field and Gallo and center and trade Hicks. I mean, you could. But you still have Judge and Stanton in the outfield as well. So Hirsch is making the real stuff. The shot is perfect. Perfect. Yummy. Delicious. Lord Revens, I mean, that's what this is. I mean, a lot of different ideas and perspectives here. So, and what does Musgrove have? I think he has 1 year left. Maybe, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong. I could be wrong. Voigt's got 3. So that's the other thing to balance out here. Well, Musgrove was pretty solid last year. 161 beanies. I like that. Yeah, beanies. I mean, probably Scully's. Maybe a hoodie, a T-shirt for starters. Maybe either a mug or one of those sleeves for the beer bottles or something like that. Something like that. Why did Torres pack his bags this afternoon? I have no idea, Craig. Blake Snell, another appealing option. 3-team trade with San Diego and Oakland to try to get Montas. Yeah, I mean, any way they can get Montas is, it would be key. Getting Montas would be very, very critical here to add to that routine. We need a clear number 2 behind Cole. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Snell and Cash to the Yankees for Voit and Hill. That might work, Richard. I hate to give up Hill, but Snell's further along. So, hoodies and beanies, okay. Read the Martino. I will read it, Craig. Andy Martino, I'll read it. More I digest what's been happening. Reading these comments, I realize we need to tie. Yes, Shamir, 100%. They need a clear number 2 behind Cole. I mean, they do. It's essentially Cole and a bunch of 3s and 4s, and they need that 1-2 punch like the Mets do with DeGrom and Scherzer. Now, they've got to stay healthy, obviously, but having those types of guys up top will make it a much more formidable rotation. And we want to get to the point where, they do that. Like when the Yankees were really good, they had Clemens, Mussina, Wells, Pettit on the same team. Like it was crazy. Crazy. Oh, and that's the type of stuff that they need. Why do you think Sevy won't be there? I would like it to be Tammy, but I don't want to throw him to the wolves. Yeah, I'm concerned about him staying healthy. And I don't want to just expect him to just 180, 200 innings right off the get. So I don't think it'd be wise. Too dangerous, I should say. Voit and a prospect for Wilson Contreras. I think you can get more for Voit, Noah. I really do. Sevy needs to work back in. Yes, exactly, Ola. He needs to build up that arm strength and that endurance again. I would start him at long relief and just keep building his strength. But at some point, it would be nice to have him back. He's got an option for next year, too, so he'll be here through 2023. Forgot about that. Yeah, Montgomery, LA. Thank you, Thomas Davis. I appreciate that. Yeah, Sevy's got a big-time arm, but, but throwing it in spring training is different than doing it for a bunch of innings. And he generally gets stronger throughout the game. But right now, to me, if you get 3 or 4 really, really good innings out of him, I would be about that all day. I would love that. A couple times a week? Oh, heck yeah. Tyler says Correa and Montas coming to New York. Yeah, this chatter about both of them. It's all over the place, ball for Twitter and everybody. They're working on a trade for either Montas or Manaea, the Yankees. We know that already. And there's still chatter about they're not, them being in the running for Correa. So that's why I've got the question mark there. Would I ever trade Sevy in the right deal? Yeah, depends on what the right deal would be. Do I have an Instagram? I've got an Instagram. It's Diehard Yankee Fan 447, Kevin, and I put up baseball stuff on there too. Sevy, yeah, when he's on, he deals, no doubt about it. Shamir, Bronx Talks is in the house, man. I think they can pull off Manaea and Montas, but they expect to give up quite a bit. There's no doubt about that, Bronx. If you guys haven't checked out Bronx Talks, go take a look at their channel. It's an up-and-coming YouTube channel. 2 guys, they know their stuff, and young up-and-coming YouTubers, and please support them. They're good. They do good stuff. I think they can pull it off, but you can expect to give up Oswald Peraza, probably Hill, and a bunch of other people too. But it is possible. It's possible. Because you can get 2 frontline starting pitchers here, you kind of have to do it, especially right now where they need 2, in my opinion. But I think Hill would be in that trade, Matt G. I would be shocked if they didn't send Hill back for Montas and Manea. I'd be shocked if it wasn't Hill and Peraza and a bunch of other guys. But it won't be Volpe or Dominguez. Hermanas was put on the 60-day IL today. So, Taco Nacho, Torres packed. Somebody said Torres packed his bags. I don't know where. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but somebody said that. I was curious too. That's why I asked. Yeah, minimum 60 days right now. Exactly, you know. 1 starter plus a center field. I mean, there's only 1 center field I would trade for right now, and that would be Brian Reynolds, but it's going to cost way too much. I don't know if you can get Harrison Bader off of St. Louis, but he'll cost quite a bit too. But a guy like that would be nice. A guy would not, who else could we get is the question. That's not Brian Reynolds. Hicks, I don't think is going to be a guy. I think he's going to get hurt again. So Johnny Lasagna's time to shine, no doubt about it. I think that, it gives them room to trade Chapman if they want, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The offense is better, Tommy Yella. There's no doubt. I mean, the focus right now to me is 1 starter. Try for 2. If you don't, you get 1. So, Sean Murphy would be nice. I mean, this kid, Ben Rortvedt, that just got in the Minnesota trade, he's a 24-year-old young kind of stud defensive catcher. So I'm okay with him. If they still get Sean Murphy, they still get Sean Murphy. But I wouldn't obsess about a catcher right now. They still have Austin Wells kind of in the wings too. And who's about a year or 2 away. And so I would be focusing on those pitchers right now from Oakland. But if they can get Sean Murphy, okay, because he's got 4 controllable years. So, yeah. Ketel Marte, I mean, he's an option. I just worry about him. He has a lot of lower body injuries, particularly in the outfield. So, but if you can get him, if you can get him in like a Carson Kelly, who is a catcher too, that would be a nice trade. But I kind of like this kid, Ben Rortvedt. I hope it works out. I really do. And this kid's a Hulk. I mean, he is jacked up. He's a left-handed hitter too, which the Yankees could use. Devin is an average chance to get Ketel Marte. I haven't heard any discussions, but you never know. Like, this is what happens when you think Cashman's doing nothing. He pulls his trade out of nowhere, and all of a sudden the Yankees have Ketel Marte. So it's like, that's what Cashman does. And they've been really quiet the last couple of days since they re-signed Rizzo. It's like no chatter at all. So this is where I expect him. He's like laying in the woods trying to work on some kind of deal, I think. So, and the Yankee fan, we're all tired of waiting, man. Yankees have several moves to go. Mike Stewart, SNY reported that Torres was seen going into Boone's office in street clothes with his bags packed. SNY reported that, Mike? I don't know about that. We also have Trey Sweeney. Yep, he could be a first baseman. Maybe he's got a good glove, and he's got a really good offensive profile right now. Beautiful swing. So I would be keeping him around if I could. Yeah, I think Cashman smells blood 100%, big boy. I think he's going to strike soon too. Kind of like a shark waiting for his prey. He's like a little midget shark with a big bite. So E. Brunson, Mookie, Freeman, Trey, Muncy, Justin Turner, Will Smith, Bellinger, Taylor, Pollock, Chris Taylor. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Muncy, and Lux is not even in that. Lux is not even in, which is why I said earlier he'd be a good guy to maybe go after for the trade for a multi-position player in the Yankees. He could be the outfielder. He could be the super utility guy. He could do both because he plays infield and outfield. And he's young. He's 24. He's got 5 seasons of control. Perfect guy to get an affordable young player here. Perfect guy for the Yankees. Really would. Andy Martino said it in the first thing about Glaber packing his bags. I haven't seen any of this stuff. I haven't really seen any of it. I find it interesting. Do I think the Yankees can get a team to eat? Maybe a portion of it. The Yankees would probably have to eat some of it, but he's got to show that he's healthy. and productive. And so far, he's looking pretty good in batting practice. So you know, and I'm seeing some people, talking about Voit to the Padres now. Some chatter. Talks between Astros and Carlos Correa grinding to a halt, according to Ken Rosenthal. So that could be good for the Yankees. Voit for Lamet, Dennis and Lamet, another pitcher. That might be an idea. That'd be an interesting one. If you can extract one of those pitchers from San Diego for Voit, man, fantastic. Be fantastic. So that's interesting. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on that. 307 for me, threshold 94. Yeah, Herman has been. He had a brilliant stint, and then he just hasn't been the same, unfortunately. Cashman is far from a shark. I don't know, Peter. He's not done yet, but the trade that he made with Minnesota made them, and I said this earlier, not sexy moves, but it made them better in a lot of ways. So, and the Rizzo was an important man. I don't think he was. He had a 4-year high annual value deal out for Freddie Freeman. I don't know how much it was, but he's gonna be 33 and he's gonna get $162 million. So let the Dodgers, and I'm fine with him going to the Dodgers. He's down on the Red Sox, he's down on the Blue Jays, he's not on the Rays, so I'm happy with that. So Olsen was the guy I wanted him to get, but the Braves gave up a ransom in prospects and paid him a lot of money. And the A's fleeced Atlanta. And they did well from Toronto too with Matt Chapman. So they've got a lot of prospect depth, and I have a feeling they're going to take the same approach with Montas and Manaea too. They're going to try to extract as much as possible, Martino said his sources said Glaber wasn't traded yet, though feeling as he might be soon. Yeah, Shamir, I just saw it. Ken Rosenthal, I think, reported that the talks between Astros and Correa have come to a halt. So something's going on. Who's the Padres' first baseman, Peter? Eric Hosmer right now. Any news on Judge? Hal Steinbrenner just said yesterday they're going to start discussing it now. All I know, but Judge wants it. He's not going to talk extension once the season starts, so he wants it done before that. It sounds as if Hal Steinbrenner said it's going to be done before that, before the season starts. So, and so I expect it to be done. Short on outfield, David Wagner. Yeah. Let's see. Anyone that wants to contend is going to be sitting somehow, somewhere on 7. So yeah, you're gonna have to have that type of starting depth. There's no doubt about it. Guys always go down, and for some reason they always go down with the Yankees. So, which stinks. We're almost at 500 likes. That's awesome. 469. Appreciate you guys. Wilson Contreras. He's a guy, man. I don't think like the guy that they just got. I think to me, I like him better than Wilson Contreras. So. Sean Murphy would be the guy to get, but we'll see. I want those pitchers before Sean Murphy. Paddock is a better choice to keep me. Yep. Paddock would be nice. And that's what I would be going for if I was Cashman. I'd be going after one of those pitchers for Voit. No doubt about it. Imagine Judge wins MVP in this year. The last would be, it would be even higher. It'll be even higher. Dominic, you feel something big is about to break before midnight? Well, it's very possible. I'm hearing a lot more chatter on Twitter in a lot of different areas. So, and I have the MLB network on right here. So if something breaks, I'm going to find out about it, and I'll definitely be putting it out immediately. So get Melendez and Prato from the Royals. I made a trade proposal a couple months ago for MJ Melendez and like a Whit Merrifield from the Royals. I like Melendez. He's also like a top 50 MLB prospect. He's their top catching prospect at number 4 overall. He would be a good guy. And again, I say this, the Yankees should be drafting catchers in the top 5 rounds of the amateur draft almost every year. At least one catcher in rounds 1 through 5. And have a pipeline of them. They have a pipeline of outfielders, pipeline of shortstops, complete the line up the middle, and get the pipeline of catchers. Some of the most important guys, some of the most tradable guys, most versatile players. So I'd be getting more catching depth if I were him. Is Voit going to San Diego? Well, they're discussing it. I don't know if it'll happen tonight, but sounds intriguing. I'll tell you that. It sounds intriguing. I'm looking again here on Twitter to see if anything's popping. Nothing yet. Pulse again. Let's check the Yankees Twitter feed here too. See if there's anything going on. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Would I trade Judge for Arenado? No, because we don't need Arenado. I would trade Judge. Probably the only two teams, the Padres and the Dodgers. I would trade Judge to the Dodgers for like Gavin Lux, and Dustin May, and Bristol Gratterall, something like that. That would be a nice return. For the Padres, like Campusano, probably Abrams, like a couple of top flight prospects. That's what I would do for Judge. Arenado doesn't. We have bigger needs than Arenado. How come some of my videos are filmed outside? I like to mix up the environment, Ryan Davidson. Plus, I don't always have this room available to me. We're putting an addition on my house, and eventually I'll have my own like YouTube room in a separate office. So until then, I have to kind of use different environments to kind of get the videos in. So this is my wife's office right now for work. So I get it when I can. I like the different environments anyway. My Twitter, Bronx Bomber 447. Yeah, we all need answers, Yankee fan. I hear you, man. I hear that frustration. I do. And I don't know, Lord Evans. This is a good question. That's why I like kind of Falefa. I mean, to me, he feels different needs: speed, hustle, good contact hitting and stuff like that. So, Jim Duggan, am I a Bitcoin millionaire? No, I don't do Bitcoin. But I'd rather have Trout or Ohtani. Huh. That's a good question. At this point, probably Ohtani because he's a little bit younger. But I mean, it's hard to pick either one. I would love to have both. Both of them would be even better. AL East is definitely going to be a dogfight. Raul 27. No doubt, Shamir. I like mixing it up too. Cronenworth on a bad caption. Not a bad. No, he's not a bad option. You're right about that, Shamir. You're absolutely right. Gary brought out the sword today, did he? Knuckleball. Did he do that round 9? Gary? What did he do? Tiny, but I think he needs to do more like what he did in Japan, outfield DH. Yeah, that would be perfect. I wouldn't want to throw him to the starting pitching Wolves. It's just that's how he's going to have to get Tommy John. So Jets making good. Yeah, the Jets are having a nice offseason. Addressing offense and defense, making smart moves, cleaning up dead cap space, getting rid of dead cap space. So I'm impressed with my Jets. Ohtani will pitch right. Exactly, you got that right, big boy. Right now, I mean, his hitting is much better than his pitching. So, if I were him, I'd be DHing him, maybe a little outfield, and then an occasional relief pitcher, something like that. He's a hell of a hitter. Starting outfielder, but who, Craig? That's the question. Who can we get for starting outfielder? That's my biggest question. My take on Bauer is if he'd be an option if he gets released. I would not trade prospects for him. He comes with baggage, but he's still got a big arm. So that's the only way I would go after him is if he's released. Because then they don't have to pay the league minimum. Whitehead, yeah, they got a lot of guys, Shamir. I mean, they got a safety, they got a corner, they got 2 tight ends. They did pretty well on offensive tackle. They brought back Joe Flacco and Mike White, so they've done well. Setting themselves up nicely for the draft. They brought a defensive end in today too. So we watch out for them getting that edge rusher in the first round. Them number 4 pick, I think. Happy wife, happy life is great. Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. The quicker we adopt it, the better. Reynolds or Mullins. I mean, I don't know if either one's gettable. Appealing, no doubt about it. I just don't know if they're gettable. Mullins will cost half the team, especially since he's in division. Reynolds is going to cost more than they wanted from Olsen, so I just don't know if they're gettable. And are they available? I have no idea. But I think the Blue Jays will surpass the Rays soon. Knuckleball, soon. Yeah, Luke Voigt, when he's healthy, he's just like Aaron Judge. When he's healthy, he's an elite hitter. There's no doubt about it. He's just had issues recently with his knees and stuff, and he's a big boy. If he stays here, he'd be fine, but it sounds as if they're working on a trade. Now that Rizzo's at first base, he's not a good defender at first base, so they need that as well. And I like him, but I think he's kind of on an FU tour right now. He wants to get out of here and make the Yankees pay for moving him at some point. So that's what I think he's going to want to do. We're over 500 likes. Thank you, guys and gals. I appreciate this. My favorite player that's not from the Yankees. Probably Bo Bichette. I like him. Probably Bo. It is true the Padres have interest in Voigt, Anthony. Yep, it's true. They've been discussing a Voigt trade tonight, actually. Mullins would be fantastic, but it would cost, a king's ransom. That's for sure. Yankees need to trade Andujar package. If they can trade Andujar, another controllable player from Nate Murphy, I would do that. I would trade as much as they can. They're going to have to add some prospects too, like Peraza and maybe either Luis Hill or somewhere like that, Yoendris Gomez or Luis Medina. They're going to have to give up a lot. But, young controllable players like that will be good in Oakland. They'd also be good in Miami, who needs more offense. And, one of the reasons why Derek Jeter left is because he thought they were going to spend on Nick Castellanos, and now they're saying they're not going to really spend. That's one of the reasons why Jeter left. So, but they still need offense, and they're willing to trade pitching for it. At least that's what we know. So, Bo Bichette's a stud player. Lord Evans, he's a stud. I love Soto, too. I love Vlad. There's a lot of players I really like. Brian Reynolds. Bichette. Well, he's better than Volpe right now, yeah. But, we'll see how Volpe, to me, might turn into a new Bichette. Bichette's a couple of years ahead of him. Oakland will want Everson Pereira and either Hill or Medina for Montas. I would do that. For Montas, not necessarily Manea. Montas has those 2 years of control. Manea's got 1. So that, to me, makes a difference. Blue Jays can't get caught up in reading their own headlines and what you on paper. It gets a lot different when you're expected to, and yes, it does. Bichette definitely has Jeter vibes. He's a stud. He's a dynamic player. He's a lot of fun to watch. Great hitter. He's an aggressive hitter, so he needs to cut down on the strikeouts, I think, in my opinion. But he is a hell of a ball player. Voigt to Baltimore for Grayson Rodriguez. That's an interesting one. Not bad, Matchy. It's intriguing. Chris Taylor for Voit or Torres. Yeah, the Dodgers just signed him to a 4-year deal, so I don't think they're going to move Voit or Torres because neither one of them. Torres is not a fit there. He wouldn't have a position to Voit neither. At this point, but Chris Taylor, I mean, he was a guy I would hope the Yankees would have signed, but the Dodgers re-signed him on a 4-year deal. I would trade the 2 edge rushers who have 12 and 14 sacks respectively if we're gone and try Clayton. Yeah, Thibodeau, I think he'll be available at 4. Kayvon Thibodeau, I think he will be available, Udall. And then at 10, they might move down unless I heard they're talking about maybe trading 10 for DK Metcalf, that stud wide receiver from the Seahawks, or just move down a few picks and get some extra picks and still get I would love Sauce Gardner, but we'll see. Lamet in a package deal with Voigt. Denelson Lamet, yeah, I mean that would be an intriguing trade. Angel Serrano, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, man. On the road to 20K now. We'll see how we can do it. Why do you feel like Correa is still an option when he can be traded? Because Isaiah kind of Falefa, he can be a super utility. And this is under the condition, too, that they move Torres and Voit. I think that's the only way it would work. But Correa is going to be an option until he's not an option, to be honest with you. So that's the only way I see it happening. But you can have Correa and kind of Falefa in the same roster on the lineup at the same time. You can. You can. And they're in CR. They signed in his fast. And yeah, they signed him for an outfielder. I think he could be the 4th outfielder, the 5th outfielder. I like him. He's got good defense. He's a Gold Glover like 3 times. He was an All-Star too. So, and I like him. I like him. Everson Pereira hit a bomb for Rosario. Nice. Cervic, nice. We would never trade Voit to the Rays, Orioles, Red Sox. No, I don't think we'd trade Voit to the AL East. San Diego seems to be a good destination, or like Colorado. You add him to like a KRIS Bryant because they're going to need to build around him. Their farm stinks. They're going to have to bring in a lot of players. None of them can justify bringing in KRIS Bryant. So, Joseph Reed, thank you so much for the generous donor, man. I appreciate that. Last year, the Yankees scored 711 runs. That's between Indians and Tigers. Donaldson enough? Is it wrong for me to think offense is their priority? Donaldson's not enough alone. But Donaldson and Isaiah kind of left when you bring Rizzo. They've cut down on the strikeouts, improve play discipline, and have more opportunities for Stanton and Judge and Gallo and those guys to drive and run. So I think they will score more runs. And obviously, if they bring in Correa somehow, it's going to increase as well. But I do think the offense is better. Their defense is significantly better. I think they need to finish it off by bringing in starting pitching. That'd be my guess. But I think they could score 750 runs this year, Joseph. I really do. Yeah. They've increased their plate discipline with their acquisitions and cut down on the strikeouts. And that, to me, is a lot. That's really important because they were almost at the bottom at hitting and runners in scoring position. So they've made – and again, this is where the analytics part came in. Analytics department, I think, had a lot to do with this trade. Not sexy metrics, but the important ones for the Yankees. The things that they were terrible in, they just got a hell of a lot better in pretty quickly in one trade. So that's the way I look at it. If Bauer gets cleared, and I don't know because they just extended his administrative leave today until April 15th. I don't know if the Dodgers are going to clear him. I think they're going to wind up suspending him. I don't exactly know what's going to happen there. If he gets released, then I would, if the Yankees can go after him and they pay the minimum. That at that point can't hurt. Rosenthal reports Padres in. Yeah, I don't know, Mark Watson. We haven't heard any specifics. All I know is that the Yankees and Padres are discussing a Luke Voit trade. We haven't gotten any return, type of players yet or anything like that. They haven't gone into that much detail yet. But I'm curious too, Mark. I'm really curious to see what type of package. So, but he's still a good fit with the Brewers too and the Rockies. So I wouldn't rule them out. Thank you, Nelson. I'm going to wrap it up shortly too. So I can go hit the bed. Volpe on the travel squad. Yeah, he's very highly regarded here. He's very, very highly regarded. So to me, he has one of the best chances of making this team. And he looks special. He really does. I hope he continues developing the way he is. Campusano and Gore for Torres and Voit. I would do that, Jason. I would do that. Field of Dreams comes Cubs and Red. Oh, nice. Nice. That was a great game last year. Everyone's saying trade Voit, Torres, Oakland. I'm not exactly sure those guys, and that's why I say they would maybe take one of them, and they're going to have to get a lot of prospects because they want to cut payroll and not add payroll. So I can't see both of them. I can see both of them being traded in separate trades, but if it's going to be Voit, it's going to happen. You expect to move Oswald Peraza, probably Luis Hill or Luis Medina. Expect to move more guys like that than probably Will Fishbill. Probably hit the bathroom before bed. I feel good right now. But I don't think the A's are going to be taking on much salary. They want a dump salary. That's pretty clear. They're just not in the business of paying their players, unfortunately. Yeah, in a rebuild, you could use a Torres because he's got 3 controllable years, so he could be part of the rebuild. And he's cheap right now, so. And they can use Voit to replace Matt Olson. So they could do that too. And he's on the cheap too for 3 more seasons. So I get it. Them combined is less than Matt Olson alone. So, but they would have to add quite a few prospects too. And the A's want some high-end prospects for all these trades. There's no doubt about that. They made that pretty clear. It would be nuts to have Correa and Bauer. It'd be like the one flew over the cuckoo's nest. It'd be like a mental institution, like a nut house over here. It'd be crazy. And Snell's a candidate for, I think, a breakout year or, bounce back year, Zach. But yeah, he had a rough 2021. Mark M, thank you very much. Thank you for the generous donor. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping the video short. No doubt about it, man. If I'm going to put out that much volume, at this be this voluminous right now with all these moves, they got to be short. 1 minute hits, no more than 2 minutes. Generally, the longer stuff is if it pertains to the Yankees. But how much more information do you really need to know if a guy signs here? So I get you the details, and then I keep it moving. So, but Mark, and I appreciate that. You're very generous of you. I'm going to keep them short and sweet. There's a lot more moves that are going to happen. I'm going to continue to keep them short and sweet. So, but I appreciate that. Very kind of you, man. Really, guys, I'm grateful for you guys. Thanks for spending the night with me here, too, after we made 10,000 subs. So good to celebrate with all of you. Castillo is a good option, too, if they can get him. The GM of the Reds said they weren't thinking about trading him. But again, if you can give him an offer that it's hard to refuse, then I'm sure that they'll consider it. No doubt about it. I like Castillo. I do. Rick Answer. DeGrom, he's exercising his opt-out after this year. But he's going to be like 34, 35 at that point, too. So if he's dominating, then different story. But we'll see. Longest winning streak for the Yankees this year. For this coming year, I'm going to say like 8 or 9 years. No more than 10, Jim. I don't see them being much worse than they were last year. So many people saying they're going to be terrible. So I don't think they're going to be terrible. And they're going to be surprising some people pleasantly. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to straighten out Davey, man. He's plummeted. He was the number one prospect like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and now he's not even in the top 10. It's crazy. I'm going to try to get over 550 likes if we can. We're at 533. We'll see. I'm going to be wrapping it up in like 5 minutes too. Jason Herschel, I'm off. You enjoy. Jason, you have another room you have to visit before. You don't. Yes, I do. Yes, sir, I do. But it was a fun time celebrating this stuff with you guys. Rodriguez is another bullpen option. Cardinals, Yankees, a couple guys. Bryant Tepera's off the board now too, and Andrew Chafin's off the board. But there's still a couple guys that could be legitimate relievers for some teams. And the Cardinals could use another reliever. Danielson Lamet. I mean, a lot of folks are saying Lamet. I'm going to look more into him. I've heard of him. And one of their young prospects. So they ruined. Oh, God, yeah. Jabba Chamberlain. It's terrible. What they did with him was awful. Michael Lowe. What's happening, man? Jansen is another one who's available. Yeah, Kenley Jansen. I could see him going to Philly. They've made some bullpen moves like Brad Hand and they added Juris Familia, but I could see them bringing in somebody like Kenley Jansen to really try to compete more and at least. Oh, I think you'll be fine. I feel good right now. So, Kei Gawa, you bring him back for a 10-year deal, man. Give him more than Correa. I agree. I mean, I would get another reliever too. Rich Rodriguez would be nice. I mean, Josh Hader would be great. But I don't know if they want to move the pieces to get a Josh Hader. Richard Rodriguez, I would like. Oh, Hideki Irabu. I think you would have to add to Luke Voigt to get Dennison Lamet. Yankees were good last year. It's just every other team in the division was great. We got better. The Yankees did get better. I think right now, the Jays have over, and I agree with Daily Dose that they at the most they broke even, Jays, because they did lose Robbie Ray and Marcus Semien, and they haven't replaced Semien production yet. So Matt Chapman some, but Semien was out-of-worldly offensively with the Blue Jays. So, and even though they brought in Kevin Gausman and what's his name, Yusei Kikuchi, I mean, if they bring in somebody like, a Castellanos or one of these guys like a Jose Ramirez, whole different ballgame. Whole different ballgame. They're going to have to give up a heck of a lot of guys for Jose Ramirez. Aaron Bummer, see, Daily Dose got me onto Aaron Bummer. He's another guy with like 5 years of control, and he's got a versatile left-handed pitching arsenal, short relief, long relief, even starting. And he's one of these jack of all trades guys who is on an affordable contract for the next 5 seasons, and that to me is great value. And he's a guy that I would, try to trade for. So I'm not sure if the White Sox would give him up, but he's worth pursuing. That's for sure. It's definitely worth pursuing. So Voit and Torres for Lamette. It's a way of clearing up like $11 or $12 million in payroll for the Yankees in 2 roster spots. So it would also make it more likely for them to make a pursuit of a Carlos Correa or something like that. So, Dan P, that's in a scenario like it is possible. Do I think they will get him? Right now, I'm like a little over 50% saying yes. If they move, like I said, if they move Voit and Torres, it increases their chances of getting Correa. No doubt about it. No doubt. And bullpen still, we have a crazy depth in the bullpen, even enough to move Chapman if they want to in a trade and have Johnny Lasagna take over. Yankees this year over. I'm going with the over, Ryan P, on the 90 wins. I'm going with the over. Yeah, I think the Blue Jays broke even, in my opinion. And I don't think they're done either. So they're going to be fine. And a healthy George Springer, like you said, Pixna, is going to make a difference too. He was hurt like almost half the season. Correa to the White Sox so he can be on the same with Joe Kelly. Oy. Imagine that. Man. Joey and Nelly. They have a shot at getting Correa. I don't know if they're going to get him, but a lot of folks think that I say they're getting Correa. I mean, there's a lot of chatter right now. They're still in the running for him that we know. And but they have to clear up some payroll and roster spots in order to do it. But I wouldn't rule the Yankees out yet. I wouldn't. Jays underperform relative to run differential. They'll win more than. I think the Jays will win more than 91. Yes, 95 wins for the Yankees would be phenomenal. LeCastro over Florial, yeah, I would. I think they'll do that too. Boston just lost Chris Sale for a couple months with a fractured rib, so that stinks for them. It really does. Kelly's in, heck yeah, with Kelly. I hope Hicks stays off the IL, man. I really do. Almost at 500 subs daily. Awesome, bro. That's awesome. And check out Daily Dose Yankees channel too. It's he's another young up and coming YouTuber. He's got some good content. He's knowledgeable, and he puts out good stuff. So take a look at his channel. If you don't mind, support it by subscribing. It's really helpful. I want to try to help my fellow YouTubers here. So he's also one of my moderators. So and he's a good dude. Everybody got mixed reviews on Correa. I mean, I'm on that boat too, Chris Vidal. I'm like right in the middle with that. I don't think I would bring him in, and not bring in pitching. Pitching still first and foremost to me for the Yankees right now. Bigger need. Ketel Marte for Glaber and a prospect. Depends on the prospect, but yeah, you kind of have to do that trade, Eric. Nick. Imagine Hicks plays 130, 140, hits around 25. Yeah, I mean, that would be a good year. Mm-hmm. Higgy over under 250. Under. How much? I don't know, but under. One of the nice things about LeCastro is he has a minor league option. Yep, and he's fast as all get out. And he's back now from his ACL surgery. I've seen some workout footage doing some explosive stuff. Looks like he's got his legs back under him. So that's good. 17,500 followers on Getter. Wow, Richard, that's awesome. You'll have a higher average than Sanchez. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Sanchez might be on lock now, so being in a less pressure environment. The Padres are in on Soler. Thinking of Jordans, and they're also in on Nick Castellanos. My guess is they'll get one of them. The Braves are also in on bringing Soler back. So both of those guys I can see moving in the next couple of days as well. Tom, Correa to New York is very possible at this point. That's where we're hearing the chatter, and everything's quiet right now in Yankees world. So, he's available until he's no longer available. So, and it looks like the Yankees are starting to put together some moves here, maybe clear roster spots and payroll. So, which could either go to somebody like that or Judge or whatever. But looks like they're kind of working their way that way now. Yeah. Gardy. Oh, that's a tough one, DM. That's a tough one, man. I think they need to give, Ender and Ciarte an opportunity. I would just retire Gardner and put him up in Monument Park and keep it at that for now. Mm-hmm. Ask me, see. Yeah, who's asking the same question this many times? Oh, okay. I gotta keep an eye on that. I pass on Gardner right now. Inciarte to me is ahead of him, and bringing in someone else will be ahead of him too. Yeah, Shamir coming off reconstruction from the ACL, being the fastest guy in baseball, but he looks pretty fast right now. So I think he's on the right track. And no spamming here, guys. We'll block his. Top teams are always a few key injuries away. Exactly. I mean, you can't win. You don't win the World Series in the offseason. You put together the pieces for the most part, but World Series isn't won in the offseason. So shortstop, Jose Ramirez is the guy to get that people want. He's going to cost an absolute ransom, and he'll be worth every penny. And I think Gardy's done too, Tyler. At least in the Bronx. At this point, I don't see the point in bringing him back. I mean, I would just give him a plaque in Monument Park one way or the other, but I don't want to clog up a roster spot. I really don't. What would it take to get Richard Rodriguez in it? Probably a 2-year deal. I'd say a 2-year deal. $12 million, something like that, or whatever. I think so. And the Cardinals can use him. Meniscus cartilage that slows you down. ACL can recover from very well. Yeah, those are tough things. I tore my meniscus too. It sucks. It sucks. What's that? Which word, Fish Bill? What am I missing here? There's that word, like Gardy coaching. Gardy? Hi, Boris. Just hope Correa falls in our laps. I mean, if he fell in our laps, that'd be fantastic. Miggy came up as a third base. Yeah, now he's older and slower, so he's definitely first baseman now. I think he's got, what does he have, 2 years left on his deal before he goes to the Hall of Fame? Oh, clog. Yes, Fishbell. Yes, it's one of the words of the night, I think. Rodriguez is the missing. Rodriguez would be nice, CJ, for the Cardinals, and hopefully, their ace gets healthy. So I really hope so. And the pinch he could play there, just like how we had Wade playing the outfield. Yep, that's right, Daly. Do I think Bauer will be traded? Not anytime soon, at least. His administrative leave has been pushed back to April 15th, so they can't really do anything until then. Maybe he'll be moved at the deadline, but I don't even know if he'll be doing any pitching by then. So, but I've seen some bullpens. He's got nasty stuff in bullpens. Nasty stuff. So. Yeah, Judge is going to cost at least 30. I think between 30 and 35 per Christopher Doyle. I don't think Correa is going to do a 1-year deal at the outset, Brett Olson. I think he's going to get a big time deal, one way or another. He Brunson. Fuzzy, thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, guys, if you haven't seen Fuzzy's channel, go take a look. He's got one of the best YouTube channels out there, man. Thank you for the congrats, bro. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to having you on here one day. Let's put something together. I will reach out to you so we can set it all up. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. Talk some Guardians, and like I said, I remember earlier, I think they should add Castellanos too. Jose Ramirez, man, that would be a hell of a duo there. That'd be a monster duo. Correa, I mean, there's more than a decent shot that the Yankees can sign Correa. The fact that he hasn't been, signed yet, is a good tell. Missy, yeah, I did, Michael. I did the Big Mac in the beginning. That way I could digest it throughout the video. Yeah, I wouldn't do it now to tear me up. But yeah, go check out Fuzzy's channel. So one of the best baseball channels out there. He's got such good content, man. It's a lot of fun. He knows his stuff. Bring back Randy. Oh, Velarde. Oh, my God. Sachs, Deion James, Roberto Kelly, Kevin Moss. The one-hit wonder, baby. The one-hit wonder. I love Fuzzy's channel, too. I watch it all the time. All the time. Yeah, I'll be happy to come on, Fuzzy, when you grade the Yankees. I'm actually going to do something similar. Once most of the seasons, I'm going to grade each team or by division or something like that. So I'll be doing the Guardians as well. I have it broken down by team right now. I'm adding to the list of what they do so that I can more accurately do it. So I'm doing something similar with Fuzzy. But I'd love to be on, man. I'd love to be on. It'll be a lot of fun. Dominic, thank you for the kind words, bro. Peace and love. I appreciate that, man. Makes me feel good knowing that, bring a smile to people's face, make people happy being on here. So makes me feel happy. So I thank you. Month of deals has two. Yeah. It's a lot. Like, I think Freeman slowed down a lot of free agency. I don't think Correa is slowing down. Boris clients generally don't slow down free agency because most of them, they wait until the end. They wait the market out. That's one of the things that Boris is so good at. So, but at the end of the day, I think Correa is going to get paid one way or another. I don't see how he doesn't get paid. You don't go to Boris to generally take a one-year deal. So, and there is, there's still a chance that he could come to New York. They're talking about it, so we'll see. Fan graphs, free agent tracker, and sort by team. Save yourself. Appreciate that, Fuzz. Thank you, man, that's good intel, man. Thank you. All right, we'll do that. I'm going to do that, man, because I've been doing this all kind of organically all by myself with the notebook and everything, the old school composition. So I appreciate that, Fuzzy. I'll definitely do that, man. Mets fans, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. You're the man, dude. I love my Mets content creators and my Mets fans too. They're always welcome on here. I want to have a couple of Mets content creators on here too. So, and celebrate some New York love. And I think, the Mets have had a heck of an offseason too. I'm really impressed with what they did. 3 years, $120 million for Correa to counter Astros 1 year offer. I mean, I think the Astros they updated their offer this week up from the initial $160 million. I don't know by how much, but they did. I can't see him taking a 3-year deal because then he'd be 30 and then he won't be able to extract the type of deal, especially if he doesn't stay healthy. So now's the opportunity for him. He stayed healthy to capitalize as much as possible. And that's another reason why I think he went to Scott Boras. So Richard Rodriguez. Yeah, I know. I totally get it, CJ. He'd be a good fit in St. Louis. Yeah. Thank you so much, Larry. Welcome. Always Mets fans are always welcome here. Conforto, I'm hearing to me, he's an option in a couple places. Colorado, Chicago, a couple teams like that. I think he'd be a great addition there. Personally, I don't see the Yankees bringing in another outfielder at a high salary. I think the next move has to be starting pitching. And if they, Boxy, thank you, man. Thank you. I think the next investments for the Yankees need to be starting pitching. And if they somehow get starting pitching and Correa, that's a whole nother thing. But starting pitching to me has to be the expenditure right now for the Yankees. It really does. And Juan Soto's going to get crazy paid, so there's no doubt about that. Michael Lowe. What sign did I miss? The Andrew Michael Givens to the Cubs. Was it that one? Matt Singh, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I can't believe I mean, honestly, I never thought I'd get past 10,000 subscribers. I really didn't, man. I really didn't, man. Wow, 10,064. Holy crap. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I will have to end it soon because I got to go to bed. Got to take care of my girls in the morning, but I appreciate you guys. I mean, I'm going to go live again on Saturday night, but if something big happens tomorrow, I'm going live. So there's no doubt about it. Anytime something big goes, especially right now where it's a frenzy, yeah, but no doubt about it. But I thank you, man. Appreciate it, Lorenzo. Thank you. Matthew Thurman Munson. Thurman Munson, man. He's a beast, man. Matt saying, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Guys, you're right. Shouldn't doubt myself. I think I got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old Mets fan. So they keep me busy all day. Keep me busy. So, and I teach martial arts, so I'm busy a lot. Have a great night too, Randy. His and I am him, man. Thank you so much. Be safe, man. I hear you, man. I hear you, Randy. Thank you for doing what you're doing, man. Have a great night. Be safe, man. Kyle, thank you, man. Thanks so much. Yeah, and I think, like, I'm here for you guys. I teach Gilbert. I'm a 20-plus year practitioner of 2 Korean arts, Hapkido, and Tung Sudo. Tung Sudo is similar to Taekwondo. Hapkido is straight, designed for the street. And thank you, Mets fans. And it's straight up street self-defense. It's joint locks and bone break. You basically learn how to cripple people. You disarm people with weapons, multiple attackers, and stuff like that. Hapkido is nasty. It's really nasty, man. Mets fans, thank you, bro. Thank you so much. So and I've been about 20 years on both. So I've got advanced black belts on both. My next belt is master. So that's what I'm training for now. Correa, yeah, they just had a baby too. Yeah, and he sold his house recently in Houston, so that's another reason that leads me to believe he's probably not going to go back to the Astros. So, which I think could be also, potential boom for the Yankees, but we'll see. I'm not banking on him. I'm more concerned with starting pitching coming to the Yankees right now. So, Matt saying a thank you. I appreciate that. Took seriously to get my black belt. Respect. Shamir, what kind of black belt, man? I also I'm working towards a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but I don't have the black belt yet. But what kind of black belt do you have, Shamir? Respect to you too, man. That's awesome. It took me like 8 years to get my Hapkido and like 4 years to get my Tung Sudo. Cobra Kai. Yeah. Larry, thank you. Dude of life, man. Yeah, man. Kind of keep it grounded. Shamir, that's awesome, man. 4th dan in both Hapkido and Tung Sudo. So, yeah, I follow UFC. I know a bunch of those guys too. Have a great night too, Dominic Davis. Thank you, man. Orioles, I mean, if the Orioles come up with some ridiculous offer, I could see him going. He's going to go to the highest bidder most likely. Taekwondo, it's Hapkido. It's a lot of like the forearm. You build up these big forearms, have these skinny wrists, but the forearms, you get these ridiculous from Hapkido training. And it's a lot of joint locks and all different types of stuff like this. And it's straight up. It's nasty. It's nasty. Shamir, thank you. Same to you, man. Thank you. The next one's master. So training for it. It was, COVID kind of set things back because you couldn't train in person, but I've done a lot of virtual and I'm still training pretty hard. So, but back in the groove. But that's awesome, Shamir. Another fellow black belt in here. That's cool, man. Happy St. Patty's Day to you too, Kyle. Have a great night. I'm going to wrap it up too. I mean, I do have to get some rest in because my girls they wear my butt out, man. So, but ICHF at eBay sales me. I'm a member of the World Tung Sudo Federation, World Hapkido Federation. It's your boys here. What's good, man? How you doing, man? Thank you so much for the generous donor, man. I appreciate that. Love the channel, bro. I'm definitely going to keep it up. I appreciate all you guys, man. Appreciate all you guys. Yeah, let's see if we can get to 600 likes before I wrap it up. And then I'm definitely going to wrap it up. I'm in Eastern Standard Time, Gilbert. Yeah, I'm in New York. So I'm from New York, I should say. I'm on the East Coast. It'd be funny. Correa. If Correa went to the Dodgers, that would be nuts. But they have Trey Turner there, so I don't know if he'd be a fit. Like, that would be insane, though, if he went to the Dodgers. I mean, it really would. Really would, man. Michael Lowe, same to you, man. Thank you. God bless all you guys, man. So the Yankees extend Gallo. Now, I would wait for him to see how well he does this year. I really would. I would wait. And he's young, too. He's like only 28, 27. So, and, if he plays well, I don't be surprised if they do. Don't be surprised. Maddie said, have a great night, too. Jace. What's good, Jace? How you doing, man? I do remember Torres hit 38 home runs, man. That was several years ago. He's kind of regressed every year since, but it shows that he's got potential. And we got 5 likes to go for 600. Yeah. I'll wrap it up at 600 likes because I definitely got to get some rest, man. I appreciate you guys spending the time with me, man. We're on 2 hours now. Thank you, guys. Thank you for celebrating 10K with me, too. It's kind of scattering. There's a bunch of different people, Joe Lugo, that are kind of speculating on the Yankees being still in on Carlos Correa. And Knuckleball, thank you so much for the subscribe, man, and the love, man. I appreciate the support. And thank you to Hirsch as well. Hearing it kind of all over. It's all over Twitter now and MLB, around MLB Network and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes to the Yankees. And now that the talks with Houston have come to a halt for some reason, it increases the chances. So, but we'll see. Starting pitching first, in my opinion. That's the big priority right now for the Yankees. But have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for spending time. If something pops up that's big tomorrow, I'll go live. Otherwise, I'll go live on Saturday like usual. But enjoy the rest, everybody. Have a great night. Fish Bill. Enjoy it. Yeah, I will, man. Have a great night. Peace and love, you guys. Talk to you next time.